I think it's safe to say none of us expected this one. Is Wesley Fofana leaving Chelsea Football Club? We're going to get right into it. I hope all of you are well. Before we get into the news, we've got news about Fofana and we've got news about a certain goalkeeper. I want to make sure you guys are here for video number 2 later on tonight, which is going to be none other than Reddit Mondays! Yes, Reddit Mondays are back. The Reddit videos have been back for a few weeks, but Reddit Mondays are back now. The first Reddit video back on a Monday is being uploaded later. So make sure you're all here for that. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to try and explain to you guys how Chelsea can make Champions League football. Well, it was because of what you guys posted. So make sure you're there. You're going to like it. But let's get cracking. Wesley Fofana seems like could be see you later. How? Why? Well, let's get into it. Here it is. Here's the latest coming from Santiago and some other geezer. Here it is. So, breaking from Sebastian Dennis and Santiago. Chelsea have opened the door to a move for Wesley Fofana, whether on loan or a permanent transfer. There isn't anyone else reporting this as of now, but this is a surprise. I didn't expect to hear this at all. And why? Because, and I'm trying to watch my words here and be a little bit careful here, because it's not exactly like I only have 10 viewers watching, but you know, Fofana's been injured lately, and I thought everyone would be like, nah, it's all right. Well, but now, nah, it seems like maybe there are clubs interested. Yeah, maybe Marseille. I mean, home. It's his home. Marseille is his, you know, bread and butter. It's his ends. Are they coming in for him? Listen, Fofana has been, I mean, at this point, it's not even unfortunate. It's a curse to be injured as much as Wesley Fofana has been. And that goes all the way back to Leicester. Leicester and Chelsea, it's just injury after injury after injury. I need to actually check. I've not actually checked this. How many games has he actually played? That's what I want to, actually, you know what? I'm going to check this right now. I'm flipping, let's get the shades on. I'm going to do this right now. He joined, right, in 2022, right? We are coming to the end of the 24-25 season, and he has only played 34 matches. 34 matches total he has appeared in, right? 34 and he scored 2. I mean, that is criminal as far as I'm concerned. I mean, obviously, when I say that, I'm not talking about him personally. No, this isn't technically, I don't think it's anyone's fault. I say that, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know how he looks after himself. I don't know what he eats. I don't know what his routines are. I don't know if he takes training seriously. I don't know if the medical department are to blame in this. I don't know. But having a player show up for 34 games in the space of 3 seasons is flipping incredible. That's actually an achievement. How has that happened? I don't know. You know? There's no words. There's absolutely no words. But I find it flabbergasting. So, on the back of that, this is why, personally, and I've said this, I've lost any sort of faith or hope that he's going to show up in the way that he needs to show up. It's not going to happen. This has been a problem since he was at Leicester. It's still a problem now. Every time he comes back, few games, boom, he's out. And he's always out for a long period. He's never out for 1 week or 2 weeks. He's always out for a long time. That's it. As far as I'm concerned, you have that many issues, your body is officially broken. You know, Reece James and Lavia are bad enough. Fofana's taken the cake. And I say all this with respect. I'm not, you know, it's not a personal attack on Fofana. Like I said, I don't know the ins and outs and whether it's even anyone's fault. But it's the truth. The reality of the situation is this. So, bearing that in mind, if there is a club that is actually interested, I'm going to say this now. Chelsea should absolutely snap their hands off. Absolutely. I'm not surprised if it's actually true and he's been placed on a transfer list or a loan list or whatever. I would do the same. So if Chelsea have done that, I'm absolutely in accordance with it because there's nothing else to hold on to here. So this is the sort of transfer you're going to have to take a loss. You're just going to have to take a loss and deal with it. Simple as that. So that's the latest on Wesley Fofana. Do you think any club will come in for him? We'll wait and see. But would you keep him, or would you sell him, or would you loan him? At bare minimum, if a loan has to be the option, then do it. We're able to sell, then that's number one priority as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't think there's anything to cling on to here. You know, the only way that I think he's able to maybe handle himself is if he goes to a league with a lower intensity, builds himself over a period of time, but he's not at Chelsea. And then even if that happens, what are you going to get from it? You're probably going to gain maybe another 30 million or so on top of what we would actually get now. And maybe, but I think that would take time. I think you might as well just cut the loss now. So that's that. Let me know your thoughts. What would you do? And let's move to the next one. Here it is. Gregor Kobel is in close dialogue with Chelsea FC, and for a fee of around £51 million, Dortmund bosses would have to negotiate. Kobel wants to play in the Champions League. This is from Bild. Goes on to say, Gregor Kobel and Chelsea are in close contact. The transfer poker is gaining momentum. If Dortmund misses out on the Champions League, a departure is even more likely. For a transfer fee of around 60 million euros, they are ready to listen. Now, on top of this, immediately after, we had Ben Jacobs come out and say, Chelsea's aim is still to pick a new number one from Robert Sanchez, Philip Jorgensen or Georgi Petrovic and Mike Penders. Links with Dortmund's Gregor Kobel are wide off the mark. So someone's lying. You see where we get to, this is always a problem when it comes to Chelsea news. This is why I'm doing less news. Because more times than not, I look at something and I'm like, that's BS. It's not even true. It's obvious it's not true. I'm like, do I even need to report on it? Like, do I even need to give a thought? I'm fed up. I'm fed up of PR. I'm so fed up with PR at this football club. It's ridiculous. Now, PR on both ends of the spectrum, whether it's pushed and made by the club to get the fans to believe a certain narrative, or it's pushed and made by journalists to just create a buzz and a headline. I'm fed up of both. Fed up. Because we're way ahead of any other football club when it comes to PR. Everyone gets their journalist-made rumours. But then on top of that, we get club pushing narratives. Clearly, in this situation, someone's lying. Either we are talking with Gregor Kobel and the club don't want to make it look like that's obvious, or the journalists at Bild don't know what they're talking about. And they've made it up to try and create a headline. Maybe to force his hand at Dortmund. Maybe to try and get him a new deal. I don't know. But I will say this. Kobel, is he a good goalkeeper? He's all right. Would I pay 51 million? No. But at the same time, if Chelsea are looking to pick a number one between Sanchez, Jorgensen, Petrovic and Penders, I mean, this is also an issue. Why is Penders in the conversation? And this is to Ben Jacobs, because he mentioned that. Why is Penders in the conversation for the Chelsea number one spot? He's not even played for us yet. You're just going to throw him in. Just, here you go, it's yours. That's not going to happen, and we know it. We know that's not going to happen. So, why is he in that conversation in the first place? What is the obvious thing to do? If we're not going to go out and get Diogo Costa, if we're not going to go out and get, I mean, I was at one time, I would have taken Mike Maignan instantly. If we're not going to go for these top goalkeepers, yeah, and we have to pick between these lot, Sanchez, Jorgensen and Petrovic, and we all know it's not going to be Penders, let's not even bother. I think it's obvious what needs to happen here. Petrovic is even deserving of it based on his form. And I have to say, how he played for Chelsea under Pochettino and how he's gone to Strasbourg and played over at Strasbourg, I think it's safe to say he, out of everyone, deserves to be given the number one shirt without even looking. Here you go, mate. It's yours. Go on, take it and run. You don't even need to look. He walks it. It shouldn't even be a conversation, if we're being honest. Now, can we go and get big levels for a goalkeeper? You'd like to think a club like Chelsea would, but we know under this ownership, we're not how we used to operate. So, in this instance, if you ask me, Petrovic all day long. And even with Petrovic, is he the perfect goalkeeper? No, but I can actually trust him. I know at least with Petrovic in goal, I don't need to worry. There might be a mistake here and there, maybe sometimes, but overall he's a solid goalkeeper. And I'll take that. I'm cool with him. And like I said, he deserves it. He's had a blinding season at Strasbourg. He deserves to walk in. But yeah, it would be mental. It would be mental if it's Sanchez or Jorgensen. It would be insanity. But let's see what happens, because I can guarantee it. Chelsea wouldn't be against, getting in a little quick buck if a big club comes in for Petrovic and offers us good money. I reckon the club will do it. That's what I'm scared of. So what would you do? Let me know down below. Much appreciated. But that's the latest. And like I said, Gregor Kobel, we'll see what's going to happen. Now, Kobel's 27, Switzerland international, played the Champions League final. He's actually decent. He's all right. I mean, like I said, he's not the best. He's not the worst. 51 million is that's a bit steep. But if we didn't have Petrovic, I'd be like, yeah, go and get Kobel. Screw it. To do it. But I reckon they're at the same level. Kobel, Petrovic. I reckon if we've already got Petrovic, then why bother? Just play Petrovic. Now, if you're going to go and get a killer and use 51 million to go and do that, okay. But we're not going to. So just give it to Petrovic. That would make sense. That would make footballing sense. But does that make financial sense? Probably not. Because then what do we do with Sanchez? Who's going to come in and buy Sanchez? And for what money? Who's going to come in and buy Jorgensen? And for what money? Oh, but who's going to come in and buy Petrovic? Oh, we'll get money for him. You see the problem here? That's my issue with the way that Chelsea run. Football is not being prioritized over business. Realistically, they should work together in harmony, but we are abandoning the football side purely for the financial. And if Chelsea want to do something right, they should absolutely stick with Petrovic and give him the number one. End of story. And then Sanchez, you're tough. That's our fault. We brought him in. We shouldn't have gone near him. I think it was obvious. If Jorgensen was a bit of an experiment. With Sanchez, I mean, come on. He was Brighton's third choice goalkeeper. What are we doing? Did you expect anything else to happen? And even then, right now, he's the best goalkeeper we got. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. Listen, give it to Petrovic and let us just get on with our lives. Simple as that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. Later on, Reddit video. Make sure you're here. I'll catch you then. Subscribe, notification bell on. See you later, people. In a bit, take care and peace.